My name is Dedo Weigert. I am a cinematographer and I always played with technology. So in lighting, what we did was to change the principle of the studio light, which for 100 years and still today is built with one Fresnel lens, which is a spherical lens, part of a circle. We changed that and we introduced a double lens system of non-spherical lenses. That gives us more light, more even light distribution, and also a more smooth color distribution. And we've done that for several years. Now we have succeeded to transfer our knowledge in optical systems into the LED world. And that wasn't as easy as it sounds, because we had to have very special LEDs designed, because when you cooperate with optics, they need to fulfill a certain number of criteria which otherwise are not necessary for multi-LED panel lights like you have in your camera now. So this took nearly 5 years to get the LEDs in the quality and the function that we needed. Then we redesigned our optics to fit each one of our lights, starting from a 10-watt light, which is a little onboard light called Ledzilla, and then there's another new version of this, which is a bicolor light. So the advantage of this is you can dim it with no color change, and you can change the color from 2700 to 6500 Kelvin, continuous. And then you can add a lot of accessories to it, like a soft tube or a soft box to make it more gentle. And then next is the 20-watt light, which is something like this. And also, LEDs need a lot of cooling. Some people solve that with fans, ventilator, yeah, no good. So we have no ventilator, no fan, no noise. And look at this movement like an optic. Yeah, but the optic on your camera, when you focus it, gets longer on one end. Ours gets longer both ends. So it's a double helix, very nice focus movement that we're very proud of, that we need to reach the extreme focus range. A normal studio light, a small one, will focus 1 to 3. Our lights focus 1 to 25, so that's one big difference. But in light quality, we have the best light shaping tools, the best control over the light by a big margin. In color, many people claim to have excellent color and they go by values like CRI. But CRI is an old system from 1931, and that's only 8 colors. And that leaves out very important colors like R9 and R13. So we work with expanded CRI. That's not good enough, because the digital camera has further demands. So there's a system by Alan Roberts called TLCI, Television Lighting Consistency Index, and that brings us a big step closer to the reality of the digital camera. But that is based on studio cameras with 3 CCDs, whilst cameras like yours and many, many thousands of other people are CMOS cameras. And they're a little beastly because they see sunlight all the same, halogen light the same, but LED light they see differently. And some of those see LED light as green, others see it as magenta, so it's very difficult to decide which way to go. And it's only recently that we crossed this bridge and we now have reached a color quality that does not need any correction anymore on all of these cameras. And that was something we worked for many years on, and we're very happy that we achieved this color quality, which goes beyond CRI and TLCI evaluation, but it is close to the reality of our practical working life, where we do tests, light one side of a face with reference light and the other side of the face with the LED light, and see if it matches in skin tones. That is the most difficult task, and we do that with halogen light, and we do it also with KinoFlow daylight, because that's also very clean color, and it's a good standard, and that in practical life is what could possibly be matched. So then comes the bigger ones, the 40 watt, and then it goes on to 90 watt, and we even have a 250 watt. That's the biggest one for the big studios. And that has tremendous light output and all the optics and everything that you expect from a dado light. Apart from that, we're also in the world of multi-LED panel lights, but again here something very special in this side, bigger size, and for lighting up big studios. That may now be a size like this, the most powerful one, which at 6 meter distance gives you 720 lux. And that's pretty much unprecedented for good quality LED light. But what's more is always the impression on the person. Yeah? When we measure, that's one thing. When we measure lux values, or when we measure color, temperature, or CRI values or such, that's one thing. But it is how beastly, how aggressive is the character from the light. Can you use it without big diffusion? And that's where we are very proud that this more homogeneous approach helps a lot to make it a little bit more human light and more acceptable, at the same time as having best color and most probably the highest light output in the business.